Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your September 2015 love spread. It's Rena here. I just wanted to give you a little taste into my love readings. I use the birth chart for the personalized love readings with my clients, but I'm going to do a more generalized version for each sign, and I hope you enjoy this. So the first card represents the kind of energy that is with you right now. And I should add that this love spread is most appropriate for somebody who is either looking for a love relationship or is in a relationship that is rather rocky. Obviously, if you're in a wonderful relationship, there's really no need to try to figure anything out, right? So, in terms of where you're at right now, I got the Emperor card. And this is a very kind of authoritarian vibe to it. And it could either be you or it could be the person that you're connected with that is, creating this kind of an energy. It's an energy, it's not a bad energy when it comes to business or being a father, because it has that kind of a kingly or a fatherly, somebody in control, law and order type of energy. But in personal relationships, where it's supposed to be a give and take, it can be rather domineering. And so if you're someone who has an estranged relationship, it's possible that you have been too controlling in the relationship and that you need to let go of that need to control. It's also possible that the other person is acting this way and it's really turning you off. If you're not in a relationship, it could point to the fact that, for instance, if you're a woman, you might have had a father who is domineering. And so you find it hard to get close to a man because you kind of project your father onto every male that you interact with. And even if your father wasn't in your life, this could definitely apply. You might have this hidden, you know, sadness about not having your father in your life, resentment, and you put it on every guy that comes along, and you it's no wonder that you never have a satisfying relationship. Or it could mean that you have had those type of relationships in the past where a person has tried to control you and you dislike that, and now you are shying away from relationships altogether. The second card is what the universe wants to tell you. And I got the moon card. So the first two cards I got were major arcana cards. This is significant to me, and it says that perhaps you are really going to have quite an eventful September when it comes to your love life, whether you are single or whether you are in a current relationship. And the moon card suggests that you need to either go within and realize what you're doing, what you are doing, not what the other person is doing, but what you are doing to attract controlling people into your life, or people who just don't seem to be treating you as an equal. They seem to be up here and you're down there. Or it's telling you that you're being deceived, and maybe you're even deceiving yourself. And this is a chronic issue with you, that you tend to not want to deal with reality. And I can totally see that with Taurians, because you guys are ruled by Venus. You guys don't like conflict. And so it's much easier for you just to smooth things over, pretend that nothing is wrong, than to really confront things head on. That is just not your way of doing things. But what happens is that you guys internalize it, it builds up, and then God help anybody who, you know, triggers you when you finally go off, because you can erupt like a volcano eventually. They talk about the bull, Taurus is the bull, and you wave that red cloth in front of the bull enough times, and eventually they, charge. So the the moon card is kind of like this warning not to deceive yourself, be deceived, or to tap into your intuition, especially if you're single, and see how you can attract somebody that is more compatible with you. The next two cards are basically cards of advice, action to take. And I got the Ace of Rods and the Lover's card. The Ace of Rods is like a go for it type of card. So if you're a single person on the sidelines and there's somebody that you are attracted to, and you're just kind of kicking it over in your mind, and especially, as I say, if you've had past incidents where you were not treated properly and it makes you a little gun shy, the Ace of Rods is saying, no, you should definitely go for it. And even if you're a woman and let's say the guy is more shy, laid back, that type of thing, and you feel like, oh, I can't go up to the guy and ask for his phone number, or, be the one to start things, because a lot of Taurian women may be very traditional. I would say pretty conservative. Even if you have a wild streak, you tend to be more traditional than the average woman. And so you may feel like it's the man's role to approach you, but you might be dealing with a guy that is pretty reticent. And so you might have to be the one to do it. And this card is saying go for it. But as the moon card states, really get in touch with whether or not this is the right person for you. Don't be attracted to superficial aspects of the person, like looks. Oh, he's got a lot of money, that sort of thing, which a Taurian is wanting to do. Not because you're bad people, but because you tend to be practical people. I like, I was just thinking, I like sex. I'm being the Taurus woman. I like sex and I like money, so might as well go for a good-looking guy with money, right? No, I'm just joking. But in any case, the other card is the Lover's card, and that was also part of your advice. So, what does that mean? Well, if you are in a current relationship with somebody and it is not going so well, this card means that you should try to make things right, become intimate with them again. Maybe you have been estranged in some way. Maybe you guys are avoiding one another. There is like a cold war in your household. You can be the one to make the first move. Taurus, you know that you guys tend to hold grudges, okay? And this is a serious thing. I have Taurus rising, and I have a lot of mutability in my chart, a lot of it. But I'll tell you, man, I have to really, really fight myself and make sure that I don't hold grudges, because it's so easy to hold on to resentments. And if you are in a marriage that is rocky, maybe you should be the one to hold out the olive branch. Maybe you're the one that needs to be the bigger person and try to, if you've been giving the person the cold shoulder, become a loving partner again. And maybe you were betrayed in some way by this person and you feel like you can't forgive him or her. But still, maybe it's time to forgive this person. If they have, I was going to say if they have apologized for what they did, but you know what? It really doesn't even matter. And to tell you the truth, I'm not even talking about staying with this person. I'm just saying to restore harmony, basically. The Lover's card may also mean that you have to make a choice. Maybe there are two people in your life, and this is part of the dilemma that you're faced with in September. And you can't keep going on like this. The Ace of Rods, coupled with the Lover's card, is really a card of action. And it's also, the ace is kind of like a newness. So some of you might be in the throes of a love affair. And maybe you have this other person. It could be like a separation from a spouse, and now you're embroiled, and I shouldn't say embroiled, but you're involved in a love affair with somebody else. And yet you have this decision to make. You have to choose either your spouse or this other person. So this is telling you that that decision is a necessary one. You don't want to just like have it hanging in the balance indefinitely. And the outcome, if you decide to take the advice, is the King of Pentacles. And this is really both a good money card, but it's also because Pentacles relate not only to material resources, but to earth signs. This could be you. And it didn't escape my notice that we're looking at a king here, and at the beginning it was the emperor. So we start and end with this authority figure. So it could mean that for some of you, you might be parents in a rocky relationship. And this is just saying that you're going to restore your marriage to a healthy one, and then you can be the parent that you need to be for your children. And what I mean by that is that I don't want to just say that the king is a man. The king could be a woman easily because it's 2015. But let's just say it's a parent who is a good leader, not an authoritarian. So this is a really good leader of the family, but also someone who is experiencing financial stability as well. And of course, when you have an intact family, it tends to be very good for your financial situation. So I think that overall that this is a really good reading for you, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you want something personalized, just click on the link below. It will take you to my website page, and you can provide me your personal data, date and time of birth and birthplace. There's a place on the PayPal form for that. And if you can't seem to find it, you can just email me after you pay at rainamoonastrology@gmail.com. The readings are $19 on sale, and they are for 20 minutes, an audio sent to your inbox. So, Taurus, good luck in September. By the way, we have Venus going direct on the 6th of September. So maybe this is why I'm getting all these major arcana cards for you. Maybe that will be a turning point for you in love. We will see. That is your ruler, after all. Bye, Taurus.